Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Mr. Budias, your online math teacher. In today's video, you will learn quadratic inequalities. Let's start. Quadratic inequality, it is an inequality in one variable of degree 2. The symbols less than or equal to, greater than, and greater than or equal to are used to denote a quadratic inequality. We'll be using these symbols. For example, the inequalities x squared is greater than x plus 2, a squared is less than or equal to 5, and 5 minus y is greater than or equal to y squared are the examples of quadratic inequality because each of them has one variable and the degree or the highest exponent of these variables is 2. Next, we have the standard form of a quadratic inequalities. The standard form of the quadratic inequalities can be written in the following forms. We have these. There are four forms from less than or equal to, greater than, and greater than or equal to, where a, b, and c are real numbers, and a here should not be equal to 0. For example, the quadratic inequalities 3x squared plus 4x is greater than or equal to 0. U squared minus u plus 6 is less than 0. And 5r squared plus 8 is less than or equal to 0 are written in standard form. This is already in standard form because it follows this form ax squared plus bx plus c, whether it is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to 0. And while 2 is less than x squared plus 1, b squared minus 6 is greater than or equal to 3b, and e squared is greater than 9 minus e are not in standard form yet. Though they are quadratic inequalities, but they are not in standard form yet. Now let's try some examples about quadratic inequality. Number 1. Which of the following is a quadratic inequality? I have four mathematical statements here and we need to identify whether it is quadratic inequality or not. And of course, to identify if it's quadratic inequality, we need to simplify these statements. For number 1, simplify 3 times x plus 1 is less than 5. That's the first statement. And the simplified form of this is 3x plus 3 is less than 5. We just distribute this 3 in each term of the binomial. So we have now 3x plus 3 is less than 5, which is not a quadratic inequality because the degree of the variable is just 1, or the highest exponent in this statement is just 1. And that is a linear inequality, not a quadratic inequality. For number 2 statement, of course, we need to simplify again because it's in factored form. Simplify a times 3a plus 5 is greater than or equal to 6. And this becomes 3a squared, that is a times 3a, and a times 5 is 5a, and greater than or equal to 6, which is a quadratic inequality because the degree is 2. And there is only one variable that is being used in this inequality. For number 3, the inequality 2m is greater than m squared plus mn is not a quadratic, though the degree is 2, but there are two variables, that is m and n. So this is not a quadratic inequality. Number 4, the expression 3x squared plus 5x minus 1 is equal to 0 is not a quadratic inequality because there is no inequality symbol. Instead, equation symbol is present. So therefore, this is a quadratic equation, not a quadratic inequality. Example number 2. Transform 3y times y plus 2 is greater than or equal to 8 plus 3y to standard form and verify if it's a quadratic inequality. We need to simplify first the left side of the inequality, this side here, because that is in factored form. 3y times y, we have 3y squared. 3y times positive 2, we have positive 6y. Then just copy, is greater than or equal to 8 plus 3y. And then transpose all the terms here from the right side to the left-hand side of the inequality. And then we need to simplify whenever applicable. Here, we need to combine like terms. 6y minus 3y are of the similar terms. So therefore, we can combine them. 6y minus 3y is positive 3y. Just copy 3y squared here. Then the simplified form for 6y minus 3y is 3y minus 8 is greater than or equal to 0. And that is already in standard form. And therefore, the standard form for 3y times y plus 2 is greater than or equal to 8 plus 3y is 3y squared plus 3y minus 8 is greater than or equal to 0. And of course, since the degree is 2 or the highest exponent is 2 and we are only using one variable, therefore this is a quadratic inequality. Now it's time for you to solve or try these problems. I want you to solve this individual practice for you to check if you really understand the discussion. And I want you to comment down below your answers for me to check also if you are really learning. And that's all for today's discussion. Thank you for watching.